Alrighty boys, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today we're going to be doing a little bit of a video that probably isn't as important to a lot of you, but it might be important to some of you. We're going to be doing a Jacko launcher review in 2019. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know about the Jacko launcher and how good or bad it is or anything like that, but this video is mainly kind of pointed towards the people who haven't really had a chance to get their hands on the gun yet. They're kind of curious on, well, should they level it up? You know, is it worth their time or anything like that? So that's what this video is here to accomplish, especially since we're kind of waiting on new content anyways. I figured this would be a fun little video to go ahead and put out. Before we do jump into it though, I do want to go ahead and give a huge thank you to the entirety of the Save the World community for what happened on Saturday. We were able to, through Extra Life, raise a grand total of $4,000 for children. Just on Saturday alone, within the span of 4 hours, we were able to raise around $3,700, and I went after the fact and donated just a little bit more to get us up to $4,000. The total that we were trying to get in the first place was $2,000, and in the end, we were able to double it. So thank you all so much for hanging out in the charity stream for the 4 hours that we were live and helping us raise as much money as possible for children. But yeah guys, let's go ahead and get into the actual video and talk about the Jacko launcher. For any of you guys that do log into Fortnite, you will be met with a new screen that will say this. It says returning the Jacko launcher. Become the pick of the patch with this returning rocket launcher unlocked by collecting all of the costume party survivors. Now, what exactly are the costume party survivors? Well, if you look to the right, you have the Fortnite llama. That is where you're going to get them. These are survivors that are randomly gotten through that llama, and here's a screenshot right here of what the screen looks like in the collection book. You will go to event people, and then you'll scroll down to costume party attendees, and you will find all of these. Now, all that you need are going to be the legendary Husk cosplayers. However, if you are lacking a legendary Husk cosplayer, you can actually fill in the 3 epic ones, and they will give you a legendary one in return, which might help you complete your collection book and actually unlock the Jacko launcher. You're going to need a lobber, a smasher, and a troll to actually accomplish this. Now, if you do actually happen to fill out your collection book and actually unlock the Jacko launcher, there are a certain set of roles that I personally go with on this weapon, and it really makes sense given the kind of new meta that's going on right now. One of the reasons I did want to re-review this weapon is because of Totally Rockin' Out and all that kind of stuff that has kind of changed the meta since it first came out like 2 years ago, or well, 3 years ago now. It's been a long time. But yeah, I mean, there's a certain way that you would roll this nowadays that you wouldn't roll it back then. The rolls that I do have on this weapon is fire, of course, critical rating, durability, damage, and crit damage, as well as causes affliction of damage for 6 seconds. Now, actually, on paper, these are fantastic rolls. They are very, very good for a rocket launcher. They're pretty well balanced. You know, you want to get your durability in there, you want to get your crit in there, and if you can't go with a double crit damage, we'll just throw in a damage in there, and then you're good to go. You know, those are actually pretty decent rolls. However, I'm going to go and show you guys the smasher test, which is solo, power level 124, and well, I'll let the Jacko launcher speak for itself.
Let me smash. Please.
So yeah, that was a little bit of a rough one whenever it does come to actually doing a smasher test. You might say at first, you know, well, the Jacko launcher should be kind of a multi-target rocket launcher, I guess. You know, that would be your argument. And you know, that would be a good argument. That is until you compare the Jacko launcher's base stats to the bazooka's base stats. And if you take a look at their base stats, the bazooka not only has better damage, but the bazooka also has, well, better reload time. It doesn't take as long as to reload, so you're going to have more damage, you're going to be able to reload faster, and then output more damage on top of that. And you might ask a question, well, you know, the Jacko launcher might have better perks, right? The Jacko launcher might actually be able to do a lot better in the perk department, but the truth on that is, well, no. With the bazooka, you're able to have crit damage, durability, any element that you want, crit rating, and then damage to afflicted, and this will go up to 45% whenever you finally do max it out. See, the bazooka, it has a lot of advantages here. It has better damage, it has better reload time, it doesn't have better durability, however, it can come with a durability roll, and whenever it actually does come to the, you know, perk perk rolls that you can put on this thing, you know, you could have damage to slowness snared or damage to affliction, but either way, that is actually going to out damage the 30% damage that you do get with the Jacko launcher. So the reason I really wanted to compare these two weapons is because, well, the bazooka is the base game, well, rocket launcher, you know? And, you know, whenever you take a look at some of the most oldest weapons in this game, they end up getting, you know, power crept. And what power creep or power crept means is that, well, as time goes on, better weapons come out, and then they make the older ones look worse. And see, this weapon's been in here since the dawn of time. And since the dawn of time, the bazooka has still been better than the Jacko launcher, not only in the stats, but also in the perks. The Jacko launcher is actually a pretty underwhelming weapon, and the only reason that you would ever even use it to begin with would really just be because you like the way it looks or you want to try to rocket ride. And you can rocket ride with the Santa's Little Helper and plenty of other weapons as well, but the Jacko launcher, just statistically and throughout gameplay, is one of, if not the worst rocket launcher in the game. One thing I haven't really touched on so far, and I will go ahead and touch on really quick, is my hero loadout. Here's a quick look at my hero loadout. I have Breakbeat Wildcat with Totally Rockin' Out, Fumble, and Subwoofers, Saurian Might, Locked and Reloaded, and Assault crit damage, because there really wasn't much else that I could put to boost, you know, my rocket launcher. But this build right here is catered 100% trying to make this weapon a better weapon, trying to make this rocket launcher as good as it possibly can be. It's got it where you get a damage bonus after reloading, it's got it where you get damage bonuses after every 1 second that passes, your crit chance is up, you know, exponentially, and then you also have an extra hero in there to allow you to swap to other weapons just in case. And even with a loadout completely tailored to the Jacko launcher, you're still not able to output that much damage when it comes to a smasher, or whenever it comes to large groups of enemies like you're seeing in the gameplay in the background. So whenever, you know, it really goes down to it, and you take a look at everything on paper, and you take a look at how things perform in gameplay, the Jacko launcher is indeed one of the worst rocket launchers in the game. Now, I wouldn't exactly say that this is all doom and gloom, because just recently, my most recent weapon review was actually a ghost pistol weapon review because they buffed it like crazy. And one thing that I do hope that the community does is that the community asks for these kind of buffs to actually happen more often, because we might be able to see stuff like this, stuff like old weapons like the Jacko launcher getting a buff, or, you know, even older weapons than that, you know what I mean? So I really do hope that Epic Games does consider this and maybe come out with more buffs in the future, maybe re-release some weapons with some new perks as well as some stat buffs or something like that. But as it stands, you know, the Jacko launcher just is one of the worst rocket launchers, if not the worst rocket launcher in the game. I mean, nowadays you're competing with like the Desa Blaster and the Deatomizer and just all of these really high damaging launchers. And here you have the Jacko launcher, it can't even do more damage than the bazooka. So yeah, I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a mini weapon review today, seeing as my last, you know, video was really just about the charity stream and stuff. I figured I'd get you guys some actual content today that you guys could sift through and check out, and for any of you newer players out there, kind of help you guys, you know, sway you in the right direction so you don't make a mistake like I did. Well, for me, it was for the purpose of this video, so not much of a mistake. But I did want to let you guys know about the Jacko launcher, one of the worst rocket launchers in the game, despite looking so cool. In the future, we might see a buff, but as it stands right now, this thing is doo-doo. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That is pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Consider subscribing, because I do make videos like this almost every single day. Leave a like on the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.